What's going on, everybody? Angry Sarge, and I'm here to do a quick unboxing, show off a product that I just got in not too long ago, and I'm pretty excited about testing it and seeing what it can do. It could be a thing where it might wind up on my patrol rifle. I don't know yet. I have to see if it's duty capable, and if it is, there's a very good possibility that it could make it there. So first and foremost, I want to get the unboxing piece out of the way. We'll talk about some of the specs and all that stuff, do all the nerd things, and then we'll get into my thoughts and all that stuff. So try to make this as short as I can, but first we're going to unbox it. Yes, sorry, I've opened it. I had to scrub some stuff so that way I don't show my personal information, but this is how the package was. We got some stuff in here besides the product. We got a patch, Futurama patch. We like that. A Jack Skeleton sticker. HRT, thanks for your purchase. Appreciate it. I follow them already. I do have some of their other products, but this is the first, other than 2 pouches, 3 pouches, whatever I have of theirs. So it's an actual light. So I'm excited to see what we got and kind of go over this. It is the Advanced Weapon Light System, and it's the light version, okay? This is their light version, which is smaller than the AWLS, the original. So takes a different battery and everything. But we have specs on here, and we also have some other specs on the back, which I'm going to include right now. All right, nerds, we're back, and sorry, I'm a nerd too. Don't take offense. All right, so we're gonna open this thing up. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna show you some things that I had to look up beforehand because I haven't even touched this product yet. So I wanted to know a few things so I could come on here and impress you guys, or not impress you, however it works out. So we have the flashlight itself on its mount body, and it comes with the cord to charge your batteries and some spacers and the actual screws for the M-LOK and all that stuff. So I'm going to set this to the side, and we're going to talk about this. We don't really need this because everybody knows what this is. It charges batteries, and I think on this one it'll charge 2, so that's a good thing. I'm going to have to purchase some more batteries, especially if this is going to be a duty rifle light. I got to have more batteries for it, so it just makes sense. All right, so on this, you've got 3 parts to it, including the battery. We'll kind of break it down real quick, and then we'll talk about everything that it can do. Okay, so just break it down real quick. All right, so you got the head, you got the body, and you got the tail cap, end cap, whatever, and a battery. Okay, so the cool thing about this is it's ambi, so you can have it mounted like this, where it's up. You can have it mounted like this, where it's down, and then on the other side, you can have it the same way. I think that's a cool feature, and you're not stuck with only one way. So that's always what I'm looking for, is how can things be ambi and just make sense. So I, however, am going to be mounting it with the flashlight up. So I'll put this on here, tighten it down. Now, if you wonder how the battery goes in because it doesn't have a marking on here, it's pretty easy. Just remember that this button right here goes to the head, flashlight head. So if you keep that in mind, you'll always get it right. So no matter how you switch it up, flip-flop it, whatever, as long as you have that button head to the flashlight head, you're good. All right, so this thing's omnidirectional, this switch. Okay, so you can momentary press it. And you can do a constant on if you push down and hold it. Or click it, should I say, not really hold it. You can hold it and it'll be constant, but once you release it, it's momentary. So words matter. My bad. All right, so you have that, and the one thing I saw was these spacers. Nobody really talked about them, so I don't really, unless I missed it, I don't really know for sure what they do besides maybe make this a little bit easier to I guess maneuver around. So the cool thing about this flashlight is you can take this off, and then you have this like a traditional, and it's recessed, so you don't have to worry about an accidental activation unless you get something in there, right? It would have to actually get in there. So what I'm talking about is this. I guess you can adjust the height is what the difference is. I think I have it on a medium. There's a minus and a plus on here. So I'm guessing you can just adjust it and it would let you kind of adjust how tight you want it per se, if that makes sense. As far as this goes, being omnidirectional, then pressing this. So I got a little bit of work to do to kind of figure out what the sweet spot is for me. I mean, I'm not complaining about this right here, but I haven't tried the other ones to really know which one's good or which one's not. Maybe we'll get into the video later about this, but anyhow, that's what it comes with. My first impressions of the unboxing is there's some pretty cool features. This right here is a really good feature. Just being able to adjust that, having the omnidirectional, but if you don't like that, having a recessed tail cap button. So that's important for multiple uses. I know if you're running ops, you might want to cover this so you don't, have an ND with your white light, having something cover that, like the 100 concepts or whatever else is out there, would probably do the trick, if that makes sense. So, but that's pretty cool. You can activate it any which way you want. That's just a unique feature. So, and it's nothing like crazy. It's not, all it is just a knob. So it's not anything electrical. It's just a knob and a screw and a spacer. That's it. So the body itself, it feels everything, the body, the tail cap, and the lamp, just they all feel sturdy, very strong, like it could withstand some punishment. However, firing one on a rifle, especially if it's got a break or, constantly the round counts are high and stuff like that, you have to worry about flashlights going out, which I've seen in my career. So could this be a good option for duty? Sure. I may give it a try, but first we're going to mount this thing. So I'm going to mount it on my MPX and all that stuff first, just to kind of give you a look at it and how it mounts on there. And then I think at the end we'll go over the back thing. And I'm pretty sure you got my final thoughts. So far, I think this is a pretty viable option, but I'll just give you my final thoughts at the end after mounting and changing these and all that stuff. So first things first, we're going to hit this thing at night so you guys can see it in the dark up against a fence or a wood line and go from there. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to mess with this before we mount it. I'm really curious about this whole spacer thing with this piece. So let's check it out, see what it does, what it looks like, how it works. So we already know about this one. So we'll just take this one off and then throw on we're going to do the plus first and see how that feels and all that. So let's start with that. So plus, you can see it. It's a plus. So we'll stick this in there. See how this looks. Gotta mess with it just a little bit. So let's drop this bad boy in here. We'll screw this on just a little bit, and then we'll finish with this tool. Okay. All right, we got it locked in there. Stick that on, let's test it. I feel like that made it tighter. Oh, so that does a more constant on, which shouldn't be that way. That's very interesting. Let me tighten this just a little more. Okay. Nope, it does a constant on. Okay. Well, we definitely don't want that. So, all right, let's take this bad boy off. Let's do a negative. Let's see what that does. That's very interesting that it does that. There we go. Pop that out. Okay, this is the normal. Let's do a negative. See what that does. Okay. I don't think that's supposed to happen, but we will see. Okay. Tighten this bad boy up. All right. Sticking this on. Okay. So just, you get that same thing, but I can tell this is just a little bit bigger. It's kind of like the medium. Okay, so that's pretty much what it does. Is you can adjust how you want this button to react. I don't know why you'd want a constant on, but especially when you can push it and go. So I don't know, maybe I did something wrong, but I can see the difference, at least between this one, this negative, and the one that came on it. Let's see if we can. Yeah, see, this is just, I know you can't see it, but it's just a little bit thicker on this side, the one that came with it versus this one. So now we have an idea kind of what this does. So pretty cool. You can adjust stuff, kind of make it your own. I like this medium one, in all honesty. Now we'll tighten it down. Okay. Put it back on. Now we'll mount it. All right, we're back. We're going to throw it on the MPX. Just in case you're wondering, just so I can see what it looks like. I actually like the Cloud Defensive OWL on this because of what it is. But I'm going to give it a shot on here, see what I think about it, and kind of go from there. Now, am I going to remove this rail? Yes, that is going to happen. So, okay, I'm going to do that. Remove it, put it on there, and then this will make it a lot easier for me. However, you can 100% mount it without it. Pretty much just stick it through, screw these on, like so. Yeah. Set these to slide. Okay. And you'll just lock it. And I recommend you stick Loctite on these, okay? Before you do anything, just go ahead and Loctite them if you're going to keep it on there. That's just always the smart thing to do. Perfect. Okay, go. Good hand tight. Boom. Okay. Now, let me stick this rail back on. That's it. Pretty simple. I can access it here with my grip. So I have it on this side because I shoot left-handed with my rifle platform. So activate. I just have to get a little awkward because this would be a normal. So I could activate like this, but if I want to do permanent, I can push forward like that, or constant on, should I say, not permanent. So yeah, switch your grip, go if you need to, but that's where I worry about accidental. Just having this there, being cognizant, because I can just grip and then turn it on by accident. So I think that's the only thing that I would worry about, is if I was in a situation where I have to be stealthy, I would want it to not do that. So maybe putting on a cap on the front, and then when I need it, I can flip it and then go. So, but the good thing is I really don't have to switch my grip if I don't want. I can activate it pretty much like this. So, cool. I like it. MPX looks good. As always, it looks good. It's got that DFCO stuff on there, which I kind of dig. Becoming a fan of, should I say. So, all right, now that we got it mounted, let me put this in view. Let's come back and let's talk about how I feel after. Okay, so final thoughts. I'm going to say there's a lot of cool features on this, and I'm excited to use it. First impression, A+, executed correctly. It makes sense. Let's go on the tactical side, which is another realm that I used to dabble in very much. Accidental activation is always a big thing for me, but they've got that covered. Just take this off. That's it. Now I have to be deliberate with it, which is fine by me too. So I have options. See that? I don't have to worry about hitting it or anything like that. I can just grip it and go. And then when I want to use it, now I've got to back off and be more intentional. So that is a very cool feature. It gives you options. So if there's a bump in the night and this is on my bump in the night rifle, this is perfect. I like being able to light up, get some ID, and then if I need to move, I know where I'm going to move, deactivate the light, move, and then be in that next spot. So it just, to me, it makes sense on that aspect. I'm kind of digging it being on the MPX. So I think this is maybe where we will test it. I need to test it on 5.56, not just 9mm as well. So I just want to make sure that this thing is going to do what it needs to do, because if it does, then it'd be great for my duty rifle, which is maybe the end purpose of this, because I definitely need one. I've got an old Streamlight Pro Tac on there, which I enjoy. I like it, but I want to get something new, kind of update the rifle, get it ready, since now I've got new grips on it and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about the MPX, but I have the DF-Cos on my patrol rifle as well. So, yeah, pretty cool. Do I think you should get it? If it fits you and this video makes sense and it's something that you really wanted to try, give it a shot. Like I said, my first impression, I really like it based on what it is. I'm not being paid to say that or anything like that. Just coming from the tactical mindset and what you can use it for and the features that it comes with, because you don't have to keep this omnidirectional switch on there. So you can take that off and run it, the old school way. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And I'm sure they're going to come out with more stuff. So hopefully we'll get to see more good stuff coming from them. HRT does have some really good products. So, yeah, check them out. If you like it, go get you something like that. I am not an affiliate at the time of this video, but that could change. Maybe. We'll see. So on that, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully this wasn't too long. You got a really good idea about this light, what it does, what it can do, things like that. And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. There's going to be more content coming. But yeah, I'm very appreciative. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about stuff that I may or may not know what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. So on that, thank you. And I'll see you on the next one.